Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and Scott Thomas and Mark Kurtz are here from the management of this station, and we've been talking about how they decide what goes on the air. But just before the break, Mark, you were talking about our news team, and one of the questions that was asked me one time is, why is there turnover just as we get to loving this news anchor? She or he is gone, or this weather person, and what's the answer to that?
Well, I don't think it's any secret. Midland, Odessa is a smaller market in the United States. It's a very respected TV market, and this has been a very respected television station at training people. So, people get out of college all over the country. You could go and take a look at the map, and I could show you where all the different states. We've got people who have come to Midland, Odessa to work and to learn their craft and to get better. And so, folks from all over the country will look for a TV station like K-West to come and earn their stripes and to start their careers. And then there is a natural tendency, we're kind of like minor league baseball to major league baseball. Dallas and Houston and those large markets come calling, or their hometown. It may not even be a larger market, it may be back closer to home. And so there is turnover, especially among reporters and those kind of things. What we try real hard to do is, Crystal Cruz and Tom Tieferteller and those folks who have been here a long time, those are the main faces of the television station. But it's just one thing is just part of the business.
And I take it as something very flattering. That they want our talent and they come steal it.
You can go to Albuquerque, you can go to Dallas or Houston or San Antonio, and you see people that were in Midland, Odessa maybe 5 years ago, and it's a compliment to the television station that the larger stations they know which television stations out there turn out good reporters and good producers
and that are well grounded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will just real quickly, I would say, there's a minor league baseball team in Midland called the Rockhounds. In this last year, the Texas Rangers made the World Series. And between the two teams, there were a couple of players that played in the World Series that played at the Rockhounds, right? And so we have, for example, a young lady that works at Telemundo National. She does national news for Telemundo, and she started in Midland, Odessa. And so there's some feathers in her cap that way.
And we haven't even talked about Telemundo, which has just been a tremendous addition to this station. But before we do, I want us to talk a little bit about advertisers, because advertising is what pays the checks.
That's correct.
So talk a little bit about how advertisers choose the times they want their advertising, or.
Well, one of the things that we pride ourselves, obviously, our crown jewel for the television station is not NBC programming. It is our news product. It's the highest sought after audience. The people that watch our news tend to be more interested in the community. They tend to be more affluent. Right. They are highly sought after, say, potential customers for our clients. And so that's the number one thing that our advertisers want to do, is they want to be associated with our television station and be able to advertise their goods and services to our viewers, because K-West has a great image in the marketplace. And so when they buy our television station, it lends our credibility to their businesses. And so we like to be very selective on who it is that we allow to buy our television station, so that when they're on our air, our customers and our viewers can trust that's going to be a credible business. And so we actually have about a 20-person marketing and advertising staff that's in the business of going out into the marketplace and monetizing the products or the programming that we have on our television station. And that's sometimes more complex than it needs to be. But normally the process is you have a business that wants to market, and we analyze their business, try to identify what their needs are, and then we match the different programming's audiences to their desired customers. And then we have a full-blown commercial production division, which is in the business of producing television commercials.
Right.
They come out into the marketplace to sit down with our clients and our advertisers, craft a message that they think would deliver the results, and then we put it in the programming, whether it be the 4 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news, or Rachel Ray, or the Today Show, or whatever. Whichever programming is
Fits
the type of customer that they want to reach. And
the interesting thing about that is that that a lot of people that would say, I would like to advertise, but I don't know how to put together an ad. And that's what you've got a marketing department to do.
Absolutely, yeah. We have, like I said, we have about 20 professionals that's what they do for a living every single day. The number one barrier I see with smaller businesses to being on television is the fear of what the commercial will look like, and that's one of the things that we do really, really, really well is eliminate that fear.
And you know how to get the most stuff in that few seconds of advertising.
Right, and it's also not as expensive as most people think.
Absolutely.
People assume that advertising in television is very expensive because they hear the reports of what it takes to buy a 30-second unit in the Super Bowl, and they go, oh my gosh, it costs $3 million to buy a spot in the Super Bowl. How much is it going to cost to advertise on television?
But as a college administrator, that was the most important part of our budget was our television advertising, to get our name in front of the students at the time. And we did it on a timing basis. At the time they were ready in April to start really making that final decision about whether to go to school and then what school to choose.
That's right.
So that's really important, is for you to help them to know when and
absolutely,
what to
yeah.
put on the air.
We are very astute at that, and we spend a lot of time and money in training our people to understand people's businesses. And I tell you, one of the other things, last week we talked about the investment and the upgrades in the television station. That's also one of the things that we've done is we've invested in upgrading all of our commercial production. So when we go out into the marketplace to work with an advertiser, we have the state-of-the-art equipment to be able to produce as good or better television commercials that you would see on a national level. And that's right here in the Permian Basin, and we offer that. And there's not any other facility in the market in the Permian Basin that can do that.
And we just have about a minute, but we've got to have another program sometime talking nothing but about Telemundo, but just give us kind of a snapshot of Telemundo.
Well, Telemundo is a sister station for K-West, and it has its own news products. We're actually doing 3 newscasts a day on Telemundo right now, at 5, a 7 o'clock, which is produced by Telemundo and airs on another digital channel. We have LATV, and then the 10 o'clock news. And that is a major part of what we do between our radio station and Telemundo. That staff produces their own newscasts in Spanish every day, utilizing some of the K-West team, but also going out and get their own news as well.
Thank you so much, Mark and Scott, for coming on, and would you come back again and keep us posted as things develop? And again, you're going to love the changes that have been made and what a difference it's going to make in your viewing. And another time they're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of these things that we haven't had time to talk about today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday with another program.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.